Dear friends, I, Pradeep Ashvi, welcome you to another session of Formula for Modern Management. In first three sessions, we have considered extensively the first M, that is material, and we have seen how they can be divided in three categories, that is most productive. Next category was where balance has to be maintained between productive use and unproductive use. And third category was where the investment should not be made because of various constraints and probable restrictions otherwise. On same logic, the machine will produce those kind of goods and services to market it. So machine has to be used for value addition, and value added products will be marketed to gain profit out of value added products. So if we consider that material is costing only 110, then some profit margin has to be allowed for both. That is to cover the cost of machines, and also we will have to add the entrepreneur's profit to it. Therefore, at least 130 value must be assigned to various category of goods on the nature of their contribution as productive, non-productive, and where they can be used for mixed category at a 45 degree, at a 90 degree, and 180 degree. It depends because there are so many industries, there are so many technologies, there are so many brands, and they all operate independently. So a fixed formula cannot be applied for everyone. Every entrepreneur will have to decide where to engage in and what are future prospects, and where he should shun investment because of future considerations, climate changes, global warming conditions, ecological and restricted supply of material. All these prospects we have discussed extensively when we were discussing about, deliberating upon the various aspects. When the material part was analyzed by this computer program for modern management. Now we start our discussion on market. The 130 is for those kind of products which are sustainable in nature, like agriculture. In agriculture, we have different kind of products which can increase the efficiency of farming activities, like tractors, harvesters, seed drills. Similarly, there are other allied activities with the process of agriculture, that is dairy, a poultry, small poultry can also be operated by the farmers. They can, if they have the land available with them, they can do some kind of fishing activity also in those ponds. Not for a big supply, but for a local market at least. So all these prospects are there for productive use of agriculture produce. As we discussed previously, that instead of exporting wheat as a whole, we should rather export wheat flour, which can be prepared by farmers at a small cost. We can make small atta chakki types which can operate on green energy, and the process of which is easy to understand to farmers. These kind of technologies are already available in some countries, and some initiative can also be taken by research institutions to create machines like this. Similarly, for dairy products, if they can process within their small dairy farm of 3, 4, 5 milking animals like cow, buffalo, they can do some kind of value addition, but they will have to be taught about it. That how to operate these equipments, how to make paneer, how to make cheese, how to make ghee. Instead of selling milk as a whole, it can be they can derive fat out of it and rather market the cream part of it, because this is what it is done at the big dairy plants. They also first draw out of it the fat part of it that is most profitable for them, and another part that is skimmed milk that they market as a another value added products. So both kind of activities related to dairy can be done by them. Similarly, how to use fossil material available with them, like gehu or wheat is separated from husk and then used differently for different purposes by farmer. Few farmers just throw it away. Some use it to feed cattle, but it is a very low nutritious value for them. Therefore, they are forced to buy animal feed, because animal feed contains fat content also and protein content also. Similarly, dairy feed has different properties. There the requirement is fat is not there, but rather protein content should be more so that the boiler can grow healthy. So we have number of farmers who cultivate soybean on their fields. These farmers can be taught how can they derive protein out of it and feed both cows, buffaloes, as well as egg-laying boiler available with them. It will not benefit themselves, but they will also do value addition work on the crop grown on their own field. These are not very complicated technologies. As far as I understand, soybean is right now used as a edible oil, and the soybean flakes which are subjected to oil extractions. So these flakes are fed or exported to other countries where they convert it as a poultry feed. Why we can't do it ourselves instead of selling these cooked soya flakes and make it available for use by farmers who have cultivated it. There is a bit of problem because if the prices of soya meal is higher than the domestic market, then a stabilizing mechanism for supply of soybean and the derivatives from it are also made available to farmers at a much lower rate. Our government can provide subsidy and PFI schemes like this. We have reserved for very big industries. These kind of different incentives can also be distributed to farmers or panchayats or maybe some entrepreneurs who are interested in small scale as a small scale industry. All these possibilities have a bright future for an agriculture country like India, where still we have a sizable population in villages. And as I told you, we have discussed it. Why village youths are rushing to cities, metros to seek jobs? They can be assured at that cost what they are getting, and how agriculture operations at field back to their villages are prospering. There will be a reverse migration force from village to city, and it will convert rather from city to villages. But for that, we will have to teach them all these techniques which we talked about, and if we have concern for environment and use of biomass abundantly available with the farmers, then we will have to once again stop farmers from burning the agricultural waste, rather converting it as a methane producing crop, high content crop like sugarcane. We have discussed that how domestically or at a village level also small units can be created where farmers themselves can benefit of value addition. And if we have a further concern for environment, like why they should burn their biomass, because recently capital Delhi, New Delhi, suffered a huge crisis because of neighboring area around NCR. Farmers were burning parali. That is a biomass available with them. So instead of value addition to parali, farmers burn it fast because they have to prepare their field for the next crop of wheat. Therefore, there is a rush to cultivate their land, and all the concerns of what will happen to residents of Delhi is rather immaterial for them. For the farmer of Punjab or Haryana, or for that matter Uttar Pradesh, what they should think about the residents of Delhi, and they have a rightful considerations also. Their fields landholding pattern in Punjab is highly skewed. Only very big farmers have large chunk of land. Otherwise, the size of their field where they grow wheat and rice is very restricted. There the cost of agriculture is very high, and because of all these considerations, they can't buy it. The machines are available, the process is also available, but involves cost. This cost farmer is not prepared to buy. They can't bear it. So various technologies, when it's available, why some kind of PFI scheme can be introduced to immediately process the paradi once they draw paddy out of it. All these prospects have very bright, I would call it a scenario where all the neighboring areas of NCR can benefit from these small, low cost machines in the hands of small farmers, because when they burn it collectively, you can't blame all of them all of a sudden and penalize them. Supreme Court has said that while concerning governments are not stopping it, but they are not considering the economics part of it and consequences, that how many lakhs of farmers one can penalize. Any government can penalize one or two or three or four, maybe 100, but not lakhs of them. And they can't discriminate between states. What Punjab farmers doing, what Haryana farmers are doing, what Uttar Pradesh farmers are doing. You can't have a separate benchmark for each state. So we have concluded the agriculture part of it, a fisheries part of it, dairy part of it. Now we come to the construction part. Now technologies are available, and very quickly house can be constructed when we use prefabricated or pre-mixed raw material for construction. Right now, those technologies or those machines are rather expensive, and I have yet to see if they are making a small house for farmers, because villages are quite far away. There are so many villages, and their population varies from few hundreds to few thousands. So each village cannot be provided these machines, but at a panchayat headquarter level, these machines can be provided and they can be filled with that raw material, mixed material for purpose of construction, and we can educate farmer how to operate, or a operator can be attached with each panchayat who will take these machines to villages on their demand, do the construction work there, and whatever is the cost, because the construction cost of prefabricated material is rather very low. So government, when they are doing Gramin Awas Yojana, why this technical aspect cannot be considered, because at a much faster rate, much bigger and much more houses having modern living condition can be created for each farmer back to their villages. This will also have a very major impact on reverse migration. So after considering all these factors, now we come to the unproductive part of machines, and we need not talk much about it, because when we are talking about the material aspect of it, like fossil fuel, we have discussed how they are causing not only loss of environment, but they are causing pollution also. So all these aspects we have already considered, and there is not any prospect of reversing the process of climate change for near future considerations of these technologies, except only in transport sector. The lithium powered electric cars, bikes, scooters, they need to be pushed at a very fast rate. Right now PFI scheme is not available. Government is also not considering the environment cost and penalizing fossil fuel consuming vehicles, and the new brands are being introduced for diesel and petrol cars. It should be a matter of concern not only for the government but for each citizen, that what they are contributing to restoration of climate around them. It's a very educative process for them, that how in villages the climate is, the air is so clean, so healthy, and why their villagers are not only sturdy but hardworking also. If we can just educate them about all these processes, they will not only be hardy, healthy, but will also prosper within their community. And as the villages prosper, number of other possibilities will also start emerging to benefit the economy of our nation. Mixed technology, or those machines which use the product out of it, or machines which convert those kind of products which have productive as well as non-productive assets are marketable commodities, are very few, because many technologies are at a are being operated at a very high cost. The industry setup is at a very high cost, and it is not worth considering at all that how most optimum mix of productive and unproductive commodities can have value addition possibilities, and how they can be marketed by small industries. Only big investment, those companies which have a capacity to invest in a very big way, only they can do it. Another consideration is using this formula for management is for other activities which simultaneously each person will understand why they should do it. At least Indians can do it if they follow and understand the usefulness of Sanatan Ganit, that is based on teachings of Bhagavad Gita, the holiest granth for all Indians, especially those who follow Sanatan way of life. It has considerations of Vedas also, Upanishads also, and many other ancient text because it's full of knowledge. They may not have developed our old rishis and those who were engaged in writing these scriptures, ancient scriptures. They didn't create laboratories, but right now scientific community is amazed that their conclusions were nearest to those which now modern technologies are trying to establish or prove. There are a number of instances you will find mentioned in our ancient scriptures that how wasteful it is for understand because how cosmos was created, how backward it was created, or what is going to happen forward, or for that matter, how it is going to end, how it began first, and how it is going to end. It has a timeless, limitless process. So rather wasting, I would call it wasting because of the fact that if we know there is no sense in pursuing those kind of discoveries which we are trying to do, it is only wastage of time and where our precious financial resources. It is fine that space technology has to grow and we keep on exploring other possibility where human beings can have their presence felt, but gradually and collectively. The mankind should benefit because we know even if we succeed in right now sending few astronauts or a dozen of them, in Earth, we have almost 900 billion people right now living, and never it is going to be lower than 1 billion. In that case, what will happen? How many of them will go to the space? Other locations available in the space for settling human beings on them. Are we going to let them behind high and dry? So all these issues are also equally important for all of us, that when we talk about the machines, we also talk about powerful rockets and all those investments which we are making right now for the traveling to outer space and incurring huge expenditure, and they have dual use. They are used for military purposes and they can be used for spying also, and they can be used for all world research as well. So with these remarks, I conclude today's session, terminate it with a hope that at least a group of 3-4 people, 5 people, 10 people in a particular city gathers together and discuss various aspects of this software, which has many objectives. It is not only managing economy, but same software is being used as a formula for modern management, and similar application like being used in Sanatan Ganesh. To balance, initially I discussed only about one software where each person has to perform 4 basic what we call it as a purusharth or duty each person is bound to do. That is, he has to work or do a calm. And when we do a calm, we have to observe with which attitude we are doing, good attitude, bad attitude, or a comfortable attitude. That is tamogun, rajogun, and tapogun. Any activity will result in similar kind of work culture also, and accordingly, earth, that means money, will be derived from it. If we are doing bad activities, it cannot never be on basis of religion or dharma, and if it is not being followed by dharma, the process of getting moksha is out of question. So this software has all those kind of teaching, and I am repeatedly telling that human values, ethics, everything is related to that profession's dharma, what they should do, what writers should do, what doctors should do, what engineers should do, what managers should do, not only individually but collectively. They should understand the importance that how all those areas of discipline can be introduced in the formula for modern management. So with these remarks, I extend my thanks to all the viewers, to all the audience. I usually don't call for any likes or dislikes. I also don't call that please do contribute. I have never mentioned it. So if any other person is resorting to this software and earning profit out of it, please be aware of it. You should buy only authentic software, and because it has a copyright, never do it. But I have shared a link for free trial available to you of this software, and you can operate it free of cost for 15 days and share it with your friends and all those person you know who can be interested in it. You can share the same link to other users as well, but be careful. You can do it on your mobile, but this software will run only on PC or laptops having enough space and memory in it. So all these considerations I have discussed. So thanks a lot once again for watching this video.